Hi Flosstube, this is Barb with Lost and Floss. It's already June 15th. I can't believe halfway through the month, crazy. And this is video number 90, I believe. A video primarily about cross stitch and sometimes a few other things thrown in. So, last video was maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I have to sincerely apologize for the wind. I had no idea. Even after I uploaded the video, I thought it was just like in the beginning because I was quickly listening on my phone and it didn't project like it did when I put it on TV, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. There were several people who were thrilled by all the bird noises, and we're discussing how many different varieties of birds were out there on the porch deck. But really, I had no idea there was that much wind noise going on, or I wouldn't have done it. I was looking around today. It's like a beautiful afternoon, and I was so tempted to go outside in our yard at home, and then I'm like, no, I cannot do that to you people again. So I really am very, very sorry, and I will try to do better. The other thing, and there were a couple of people who asked me, I had mentioned that I had started a quilt last year with Celeste Creates tutorial, and I kind of got it to this point where I just, I got everything, the tops together, and I bought fabric for the binding and back, and it's just sat there. So I need to get moving on this. But so this is, I hope it's not going to show up way too bright, because the red, I don't know, the red kind of jumps out at you, and it doesn't in real life, but I wanted something that had Christmas colors but didn't scream. I don't know what this one is about. I'm gonna have to watch the video again. But I'm kind of disappointed because I rearranged some of the squares when I was piecing it together, and I think I would have been better off leaving it how I had it to begin with. I think, you know how that is. It's like you're second guessing it, and but I should just get it done. And I went and bought like a little nothing. This was from the same line. Now that I have it home and it's been like 6 months later, I'm not sure I'm really thrilled with that, but I'm going to use it. And this isn't like, and I'm sure once I try quilting, it's not a keepsake type thing. And so I just need to get it done. And along that lines, I had a couple questions for you last video, which I appreciate all the people who chimed in and provided answers, recommendations or whatever. I showed 2 Santa patterns, and I think people really love this one. So this is the one I'm going to do for my son-in-law. This is a discontinued pattern. I think it was from, I don't know. Oh, seriously? Sounds like somebody's power washing out there. That would be my luck. I think this is from, oh no, it's a lawnmower. 1987. So, I got it on eBay. I had been kind of looking for this one, and I can't wait to get started on it. So, along the same lines, and I don't know where I put it, so I will pull it out when I come to the bottom of it in the stack. And then the other thing that came up, I don't know if it was in our stitch group or we were all talking about DMC and how we keep our DMC organized. And I've gone to like these photo storage boxes. A while ago I had printed off, someone had done like a PDF with all the colors and tags, and I store mine in floss away bags, you can see from the bottom. And then I have 4 of these boxes and I just have them in numerical order. So these are all the numbers that start 3000 and after. And you know, it looks like a hot mess on the inside, but really it's easy to find a color when you need it. And I use this in tandem with the floss chart from DMC that has the actual colors in it. It's very helpful because if I don't have a color that's called for on a chart, I can just find something close and then go into my stack and pull out the next color and see if it's a good substitute or not. You know, along with this though, you have to be somewhat diligent about, you know, taking the time to put your flosses back after you have them all out. And I have to say, I'm not like, I don't have to do it immediately, but what I do is I have a little basket I just keep collecting them in, and then every once in a while when I get in the mood, when I don't feel like doing something else, usually is what happens, I will take the time. Oftentimes I'll numerically order them before I even get to that step by hooking them on a hoop. And so then it's, you know, you have the 1s to 300s and you can just pull out that box and pop them right in. So it's really, it's a pretty good process for me. And I like having my thread in numeric order and also in alpha order, Lisa. I'll explain that story. Yeah, in alpha order by thread company. I just find it really works for me. I keep my overdyes on big circle binder thingies, hoops, whatever you call those things, the clips. And I like that too, because then if I need like, oh, I need a blue for this one, it's not showing up, I can just, they're not all filed away, I can just, you know, flip the thing around. And I have most of them on the floss away bags, but some not. And so I can see my colors pretty easily without having to like file through like I do with the DMC. But I just thought maybe you would be interested in seeing that. So, yeah. And then the other thing I'm going to try, I've never used one of these, but I've always thought they're a really good idea. When I'm stitching on the stocking, I bought one of these, I don't even know what they're called. They're on Amazon, but they're like a little foam thing. You can write your symbols on these pieces. Honestly, can you hear the lawnmower? I'm like, I've been trying to get organized all day. It's been quite quiet, and as soon as I hit record, we have the noise coming out. But anyways, you can, I usually try to keep a number of needles going so that it's fairly easy when I come to the next symbol in that vicinity to pick it up and fill in. I'm going to try to be really good about this. And so I'm going to use this and fill it out with all my symbols. I think I might run them off so they're from the chart, so they're actually, you know, like not just handwritten, but will correspond to what's on the chart. So I'm anxious to use one of these. I've always thought they look like a really good idea, and I'm curious if anybody's used one before. Tell me how it works, any recommendations, or, you know, things that you would advise against or not. The Alpha Order thread joke was at our Leanne's Legacy last year. Lisa, who is a member of our stitch group and very prolific stitcher on Instagram, and I don't even know how we got on the topic of it, and Margot and I were like, don't you have yours in Alpha Order? And she's like, no, I just have all, you know, she had all one brand, like weeks on one and blah, blah, blah. And we were just laughing. So then, of course, we had to go around the room and find out who was, who ordered theirs alphabetically. And I think she was the only one who didn't. And just throws them on there. And so we were laughing. And then Margot and I took hers and we had to put them in order for her. And it's like, well, you have 6 of this one color. So that's a good reason for not just throwing them on willy-nilly. But, and speaking of Margot, she had a couple items at our last stitch group that she's like, I'm never going to finish this. Somebody's got to take them. So this is a Teresa Kogut pattern. And I'm like, oh, somebody's got to finish them. And there were no takers. Everybody thought he was really cute. And I'm like, well, if I ever get my 4th of July Teresa Kogut done, I will work on this one. I think it's cute. So someone has to take it, right? And then I was showing last time my new system. I finally did get a binder. And I got a big binder because I'm optimistic I'll have a lot of finishes. But, so I gotta flip these. You know how that is when you first put things in. But this is what I'm going to do. So I made myself a template, actually, so I can just fill this in. But I'm just going to, you know, I have all the information about the chart. And then I put an actual picture of my finish. I think that's the one thing I am pretty proud of. I do the majority of my finishing. And I try to incorporate different ideas so that it's not just all the same. I mean, I have used, you know, many of Vonna's tutorials are wonderful, and I will link her below if I can't imagine many of you haven't heard of Vonna, but she just has really good ideas. And but I was did crafting professionally for years, and so like I kind of have my own way of doing things, and so try to incorporate a lot of different things. But anyways, so yeah, I you know, like even now I'm trying to do more and more of my own framing. If it's something special, I definitely will take it in because I am not an expert, that's for sure. But so I have like my Valentine ones, and how I see this going is in my new charts, I will have the template, and I don't think I have any. Like this one. I'm just kind of switching over to this. When I come upon one, I will show you. But I will keep the template that tells me the chart, the pattern, the fabric I'm using, and the flosses. And the fabric and flosses are the main reason I went to the system. I felt like, you know, like so often I'm not using the called for, and then later on somebody asked me what I use, and I had a journal that I could go back in, but it was hard for me to find things, or, you know, I'd mention them in other videos, but it just was a difficult way to find things for me. So I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to work for me. You know, I always aspire to be organized, but anybody who's watched me regularly knows that's not always the case. I mean, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants a lot of times, but you know, that's okay. So I guess, boy, that's been, you know, it's like 15 minutes in and I've had a lot of chit chats and stuff like that. The other thing I've been doing, I might as well show this before I go any further. Instead of having a real stitch journal, I've been I just bought like a planner, a 2023 planner, and I haven't been really good about writing in lately, but it's just a good place to put notes and that sort of thing. And then like I was charting something because I don't even know what this was from, but you know, like there's like scrap paper in back that you can figure out how to make the numbers that you need. Oh, I think that was, I don't know what that was. How do I know? But I've been trying to start to write things down so that it's just easier for me to remember things, because believe it or not, my memory is not as good as it once was. Who can relate to that? Before I forget to do this, also the 2023 Prairie Schooler Santa was not claimed. And so when that happens on my channel, if someone hasn't claimed it by the next video, since I usually don't do them all that often, I feel like, you know, a couple weeks is a good chance for someone to be able to claim a prize. We go to the speed round, and the speed round, all you have to do is send me an email at lostinfloss2, the number 2, at gmail.com. And just, you know, some people write me a note about something in the video, which I love. Other people just put me please. And how it will work is once this goes live, I'll notify the original, a winner will be selected from those emails. And so we're talking about this year's 2023 Prairie Schooler Santa chart. And just, yeah, drop me an email. And I've had 100% success rate with that. I think because I have, like, you know, and I'm probably guilty of this too, like, you enter something and then you don't have time to watch the video, and so you don't know you've won. And I always try to leave a comment on the person's comment. So, but I suppose depending on how your notifications are turned on for that sort of thing, you might not see my response to your comments. So I found this works really well, and even though I get usually quite a few emails, what I'll do is I'll select a winner in a few days after this video airs, and then I'll tell the winner they have like a day to give me their address, and if I don't hear from them, then I'll go on to another person and start the process all over again. And I just think it keeps things moving. I don't want to have things that, you know, I'm trying to, you know, share with others, like just sitting in my stash forever. So I found that works really well. And so if you're interested in the 2023 Prairie Schooler Santa, just email me and enter your name for a chance. And my email is also in the drop down if you catch it when I listed it. So, yay! So we'll get a winner yet. I haven't started stitching mine yet, but yeah, getting there. So I don't know. I thought I stitched on this since the last time. This is Plum Street Samplers, This Happy Morning. And I have the vintage version. I got this as a kit from Country Sampler. And I thought I made a little progress. I saw Annie B's last week at our stitch group, and she has her whole barn house done and lots of the border, and I'm like, okay, now I'm thoroughly depressed. So I think I need to pull this one out and work on it a little bit more. This is a chart that when I got back into stitching, which is maybe about 5 years ago, it was one that I needed to get right away. And this is Prairie Schooler. R is for rabbit. I love the colors in that. And I had only a tiny little bit of a start, and stitching this on 36 count Lakeside Luna. I love how the colors pop on this. And I don't have very much more of a start, but I think I'm putting it away for the year. I'd rather get my couple Patriotic things I have started finished. But I just love how the colors pop on there. And I'll look forward to getting it out again next spring and hopefully making some better progress on it. Sorry for the throwing on the floor noises. Let's see. Oh, we're still on the Prairie Schooler bandwagon. And I think I have 5 finished of the monthly series. And I'm working on May now. And this one I got quite a bit done on since last video. So we're getting there, but I'm probably going to put this one away too. Although I should just finish it up because it doesn't have that much more to go. So I did the box. I'm ready to do more of the sheep. I've got more of the grass in, and it's really coming alive. So, and really, I think, the stuff that's in that bottom box, it's pretty repetitive. So it most likely would go kind of fast. I just love that guy there. So cute. So who knows? Maybe I'll stitch on it. Maybe I won't. I have so many Christmas things started and other everyday samplers I'd like to start that I kind of would rather move on to that. I've got this little piece of country mocha that I'm stitching. What's this called? It's a JBW. Hold on. French country flower basket. And I know I said last time that I should just finish it up, but I didn't. But I did work on it. Let me show it so it's not upside down. I mean, probably I could get it done in a night. But you know how that goes. It's always like something else to stitch on. That's my problem. I can't even imagine if I was a monogamous stitcher now, because I was at one point when I first returned and to stitching, and yeah, now not so much. Okay. So this is the chart that I hope to give away. So if you email me, it will enter you for a chance to win it. Hi, there's a couple things I forgot to mention for the giveaway drawing. And most importantly, you must be 18 or older to enter. And I'd love it if you like my video and also were a subscriber. That'd be fantastic. That's all. Oh, I finished up, well, I guess it's kind of out of order, but 2006 Santa, the one with the sewing machine. And I did get him done. So last year I think I got 4 or 5 of them ready to be finished. So I hope to get maybe 3 done this year. I want to get this year's done, and then I'm working on the ski guy, he is 2010. Look, these used to be $4.25. And I thought it would be easier just to do his ski pole going down this way. Oh, no. That scared me for a minute. It's going this way. I noticed on one of them, you know, because this is Vintage Country Mocha, and I think I did one of them on the side that's not stamped with the aging look, but I feel like maybe it was this one. It's so tiny and there's so much color in it. I don't think anyone's ever going to notice that, and if they do, oh well. So yeah, I should start 2023 soon, because it is already halfway through the year. So I would rather not be like rushing on that at the end of the, right before Christmas or something. I've been working on the Strawberry House by the Scarlet House. This is one of those that you think, oh, it's going to be quick, and not so much, but I'm liking it. And I'm close to finishing up. I think I'm going to stitch the birds 1 over 1 so they're not so ginormous, but maybe I'll just make them ginormous. It would be easier and much quicker to stitch. So that's something that's in my pile that I really need to finish it up, because it's almost done. This is one Leanne had all kitted up. Well, I don't know if she had fabric in there. It's just a cute little, it's from Little House Needleworks, Grandma's Quilt. But she had the flosses on a ring. And the other night I thought, I'm just going to start that. And so I'm doing it on a little chunk of 30 count portobello linen. And I'm stitching 2 over 2. So I got that little center motif. I think this will go really, really fast. It's another one I should just stick with. And I'm just going to make it into a little pillow that's out every day and call it a plan. And this is another one of Leanne. I've mentioned many times, it's Christmas Garden, and she had stitched all the green in the border And I've showed this, you know, back when she had it maybe halfway done. And so this, it's on 32 count antique white, I believe. So stitching 2 over 2, but I'm really almost done. And I have an old antique ornate frame that I'm hoping that this will fit in, but I'm not going to even pull it out until I get this done. But she had subbed out the red, I think it was supposed to be Calico Kitty. And she subbed out, let me see here. Licorice red. So it's, you know, quite a bit more vivid, which I really like. So you can see the difference between the two. But I've really enjoyed working on it. It's a little bittersweet, but I can't wait to get it done, and it will be done this Christmas. It's, you know, one of those things I will definitely say, yes, I will have this done. Yeah, really sorry for all the thumping. Oh, this is my new template. So, got it all hole punched ready, but this is what'll go in the binder once I'm done and have a picture of what I'm working on. So this is Colonial Blooms by the Scarlet House. I'm stitching 2 over 2 on 32 count dusk. And I'm doing the more vivid version. And I like what I see so far. So it's getting there. I mean, it's starting to look like a floral design. And I like it on this color. And with the 2 over 2, it really makes it really vivid. So I kind of like that plan. I guess I've gotten more done than I thought the last couple weeks. I am excited. I'm doing the needlework by Kathy Barrick. This one. And I finally got through my spool of thread. This is on 40 count vintage country mocha. And I'm using 3 different silks. But the spool of thread almost killed me. But onto the actual spool. So I think, you know, once I get to that point, it'll probably, there's a lot less counting, and I just think it'll go a lot faster. But I love this one. I used to just like not put things back in their bag, and you don't believe how much work it would be at the end, because it would be like flosses would get mixed up. And so now I've learned that, I'm sure, you know, a lot of people are half listening. So if I take 20 seconds to just put things away, I'm just much better off. So I'm working on All Joys for Thine by Blackbird Designs, stitching it on 36 count Heartland, which I believe is the called for color. And I really enjoy stitching on this one. Annie B's had her completed one, at our stitch group last time, and I was like, Annie, hers looks a little bit more vivid because it's on 40 count, but we were both commenting that, you know, based on the picture, it looks so much more muted, but there's a lot of little bright accents in there. On this tree, I made a mistake, and the inner part is supposed to be more of a gold color. So I'll see how it looks at the end. If I need to rip it and restitch it, I will. If not, maybe just leave it. It's like one of those things that once everything else is done, it maybe isn't a problem at all. Okay. Then, you know, I've decorated for Patriotic for the summer. I cannot find one of my, it's a Blackbird design. It's a white house, and it's the one that last year I had so many problems trying to get my house not to look pink. And I framed it in this little frame, and I've been looking everywhere for it. So I know it'll turn up somewhere stupid, but I don't know why it's not with my other Patriotic stitch things. I wonder if it was somewhere where I didn't take it down right away and then it got lost from the herd. So I don't know, but it just makes me kind of sad because I'm like, oh, that's one I really liked. This is Lady Liberty Penny Keep. I was on a big Patriotic start last year, and this year I don't know that I started anything new Patriotic, but whoopsie, there goes my needle minder. And I got the top of her done. And now I'm going on to the top edge. There's a fair amount of stitching on this. Like there's a big flag and the borders and the alphabet. So I'm going to make a push to get it done for this Patriotic, like the 4th of July or this summer, but I don't know. You know, you gotta just relax about some things. And I finally started Annie B's Red Work Pairs. And I wanted to do them a little bit different. Okay, there. I'm sorry. I was really trying to avoid like bending over to show the top of my head this video. So I even have a little TV tray and so what I wanted to do was different counts and different colors. I don't know that I've seen them that way, and I thought that would be kind of fun. But now I'm realizing my one's going to be ginormous. I'm stitching on Vintage Meadow Rue 28 count. And you know how I love that color. And this one's going to be the big pyramid of that one. Pyramid of whatever those items are. What are those items? But I hope that I'm not going to have like a 10-foot tall pair. So I thought if it really gets like way out of hand, by the time I get that pyramid completed, I could maybe just omit some of that stuff and go at that. I am a little worried because I don't have a lot of margins, but you know me, I'll make it fit. And I'm using Classic Colorworks Sister Scarlet for that. It's really pretty variegated. And then the other one, I'm doing the ABCs on 36 count Aztec red using sand. And I hope that, I don't know, I hope this is going to look okay, but it's going to be what it is. And the third color I'm using is a chunk of vintage, copper vintage. It is 32 count, so I'm stitching 2 over 2. I've got the tiniest little start, and I'm using cherry cobbler for that one. So I'm going to try to hold these all up because I think they look pretty together. I was working on the 28 count last night, and I'm like, I just kept going on it because I'm like, oh, that floss is really pretty. I'm not going to show the whole pattern, but I'm going to attempt to show how that'll all work together. So I think it'll be pretty and something different. It's always fun to kind of do something different. And then I decided to call an audible. So I was working on With Needle and Thread by Samplers Not Forgotten. And I can't remember what this was. Well, it doesn't really matter because it's getting the boot. My last thought, so my beigey color was not showing up well enough. So I had taken all these other colors along with me to our stitch group, and none of them were really any better. And then I got this great idea. Oh, I should do that flower in like a light aqua. That'd be so pretty. Well, then when I tried out some of those light aqua colors, I didn't like them any better. And then the thought of having all the flowers around the outside light aqua, that did not float my boat at all. And the more I thought about it, it's like, okay, yeah, this is a start, but in terms of the whole chart, just start over. So I believe this got me into another purchase, which I will talk about, but I'm going to be using Antique Lace 40 count by Number 12 Stitch Company. And this is really a pretty color. Just a really nice neutral. And I think these colors will show up so much better on there. So I'm excited to start over. So I ended up ordering from their Etsy shop from Number 12 Stitch Company. All you have to say to me on Instagram is, this fabric in my shop and I'm going to be closing it for a while, so if you want to order something, order something. I'd been wanting to order some pieces of theirs for quite a while, and that's what did it. So the other piece I have is, these are all 40 count. It's Russian caramel. And then I had 2 little pieces somewhere. I don't know. 2 little pieces that are also really pretty. And I was amazed at how quickly it came. I don't even know if it was 2 weeks when you figure it's coming from Australia. And if you ordered, I can't remember what the amount was, but I didn't think it was astronomical. At first, I thought it was $100, and when I did the conversion, it was 100 of Australian, whatever their unit of money is. Maybe it's dollars, but so it was less than $100, and I got 2 nice big chunks and then 2 smaller pieces. So I don't know. I'm really anxious to stitch, and it was so packaged so beautifully. Like the tissue paper was folded and folded and folded. I'll put a picture at the end. I think I took one because I thought it was so beautiful. So I need to, like, I haven't been buying charts, and I showed a couple charts last time. I think I'm going to start Sarah Smith, because I've really been wanting to start that one. I have all the flosses, and I just feel like I need to start her. So I think I've shown my finish FOs. One other thing I wanted to show. Oh, this thing. Okay. So this is, I don't know, Bank Creek, I think. I was so proud in 2018 of this finish. I looked at it and I'm like, no. So luckily, this was back in the day. It was, I put it right over the little, whatever was under this frame. And so I just taped it. So what I'm going to do is try to find just a plain frame, like an antique-y looking frame for that. But I still really like this stitch. I think this was on Coffee Tea Dyed Monaco a la Priscilla. And, but yeah, I'm like, I don't know why I thought that was such a good idea. How about this? Make that my screenshot. Oh man, yeah. So, and I think it seems like, I can't believe it was 2018. I mean, that's only 5 years ago. It seems like I've been doing this so much longer than that. It kind of just was amazing to me that's when I did this. But anyways, I thought that was kind of fun. Then the other thing I wanted to show you, my friend had this in her car, this tray. And I'm like, what are you doing with that? And she's like, oh, it's going to Goodwill. Well, and I'll insert a picture because I took a picture too. But on the bottom, it had Santa and whatever. And I'm like, that's a perfect 4th of July, like little tray. And so I just threw some things in here. I need to, oopsie, everything's sliding. But this is the Prairie Schooler July from a Prairie Year. And this was a little strawberry, I think it was Erica Michaels. And I love what I did with the top because it's got a little button on it. And and I think this was 40 count. And I did 1/1, the lettering. I'm like, holy cow. Because I wanted it, I know I stitched it smaller because I didn't want a ginormous strawberry, but now I look at it and it's like, it's such a tiny little thing. My first finish is Liberty House, it's really glaring, by Brenda Gervais. I saw this stitched up and I'm like, oh, just had to have it. I think I used all the called for colors, and this is 36 count dapple, but I love it in this frame. This frame, maybe cut off a little and had a little too much at the top and bottom, but I think it's just perfect. So happy with this one. And I even used my little I don't know what they call those things, which I cut a piece of mat board. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this the real treatment instead of like fudging. And then from the Souvenirs of Summer book, this is Summer Jubilee. That one. And mine is much more antique-y, vintagey looking, but I really like it. And this frame, it had gold on it, but I ended up taking some black paint and going over the gold because it was so bright. And I think, you know, with, I can't tell if I'm showing it or not. With, you know, how muted the colors are, I just needed something, you know, not so in your face bright. Although there is that really gold in there, but I liked the frame so much better. So I'm happy to have this one. I think it's just a beautiful piece, and really you could leave it up year round. I don't know if I will, but for Preston's stocking. And why do I make my voice go like that? Let me try that over. Using this fabric for Preston's stocking. And I would say there maybe were 2 people who said keep looking, but the rest thought that it would look really good. And I promised I'm going to make a tutorial, so I might do that next week. I really want to get this finished. So, but there's one other store that I saw some things that I might like, but I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this because none of it's going to show from the front. It's just the backing and the lining. So it's like, it really doesn't matter, because like, how many times do you go up to a stocking that's hanging from a mantle and like flip it over? Probably never, right? So, oh, I can't, I'm finishing this for Lisa, her little bird. If I let go of it, I will spill the, I was calling it bird seed, but walnut shells all over. And this is a little finish I'm working on from something that I finished stitching last year. So that should be done next video. And then this piece I ended up making into like a little pouch. And this was something Leanne had started. I finished Blackbird. I don't know. It was, and I will put a picture of this at the end. It was like stark white, and it didn't, like, I kept looking at it thinking it should be more antique-y looking. So I got out my walnut shells, and I'm really starting to like this technique. I mean, you have to be, it takes a long time because you have to be really, really careful. To begin with, you need like 1 crystal of the walnut shells in like maybe a tablespoon of water, a very tiny, tiny brush, because you don't want to get close to your overdyed threads. I kept thinking, you know, like I'd be tempted to do it on a bigger sampler, but I'd also be very scared because, I mean, what if you did too much or you caused your threads to bleed? I don't know. So, but I'm like, well, something like this, I just went for it. And I kind of just started playing around with what I was going to do with this. And I don't know what I'll fill it with, but right now I stuck a towel in there. I put, you know, some warm and natural, and I boxed the bottom so it stands up nice. And after the fact decided I wanted a cuff on it, so I just added that on separately, which worked out fine. So yeah, you never know what my finishes are going to be, because like sometimes I have something in mind and then it doesn't go so well and it just all starts over again. So I think not too much else going on, just trying to get my flowers nursed back to health from being gone. It was much hotter week than we were expecting, and when things are new seedlings, it's just difficult when you're gone. So luckily one of my friends came over and watered one time, and that was very helpful. So I tried planting some little dahlia seeds I had harvested last year, and I'm so thrilled because they're all coming up and doing pretty good. And you know, I think of like how much one plant is. I mean, obviously if you get a dahlia plant like the one I bought is like this tall, and my little ones are like that big. So who knows if they'll even have time to mature before the end of summer, but I don't know. It's kind of a fun process, and constantly battling our latest was roly-polies. So like, I thought they were not slugs. I thought they were, I don't know what I thought they were, but we did where you Google images, and they turned out to be roly-polies, which aren't the technical term, and there aren't a lot of good treatments for them, but sprinkling diatomaceous earth, which is like the ground up seashells, seems to be like at least keeping them off the flowers. So that's all I care about. They can be in the base, and I'm constantly like out at night, like in my garden with this big high powered flashlight. Like I bet you my neighbors think I'm nuts. Like what's she doing out there? But it's amazing. Like if you are having problems with your plants, and I tell my daughter this and my friends, but I'm like, you go out with a flashlight at night, and if you don't see things on them during the day and they're not doing well, I can almost guarantee you'll find things at night. So and we just we did a mail order magnolia tree. We've always wanted to plant one, and then last year when a family member lost their baby, their grandparents were planting magnolia trees in his honor, and I'm like, oh, I would like to do that too. And so, but then we went to look at like established trees, and they were like $280. So I went online and ordered one from a nursery, and like the pictures, I read a lot of reviews and found one that was good for our area. And in the reviews, like they'd have a stick with 2 leaves on it. So that was what I was expecting. And actually, I'll insert a picture at the end. Ours just like looks really healthy, and you're supposed to wait like, I don't know, a week after you get it, because it just comes through the mail to plant it. So I put it in a bigger pot, and it's in the shade, and it looks like it's doing well. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. We just had some fun events. It was my sister and brother-in-law's 50th wedding anniversary, which, you know, it just makes you feel like I think back, I was like, you know, I don't know, young teen. Well, yeah. Like, I think I was a freshman in high school and a bridesmaid. It was the first time I had my hair done, and oh my gosh. Well, to begin with, this was probably the problem. We went to my mom's hair salon, and like, I felt like I came home looking like my mother. So I like combed out all the like my hair wasn't real long, but it was longer than it is now. Teased up stuff, and so I had a nice body at least, but I was just like, oh, this is not the experience I thought I was going to have. And so I think I had my hair done for my daughter's wedding, but for my own wedding, I did my own hair, because I'm like, I don't know, I wasn't going to have an updo or anything like that. But talking with my friends, I think we, like back then, you didn't like go to get your nails done. You weren't spray tanning. You weren't, I think all of us did our own makeup for our wedding. And, you think of what the whole industry has what's the word I'm thinking of? Evolved into. It is kind of crazy. But, so anyways, they had a very nice party, brunch at, like a downtown, really nice restaurant. And, but unfortunately, in Milwaukee, there's a fundraiser that it's a ride for the arts, and they close off like a lot of downtown, and the bikes just, ride on the bridges and whatever. So like trying to get down to the restaurant, which is on the water, it was like crazy. And I thought, I've worked downtown, so I'm familiar with the roads, and my husband, I as a retiree, I can still work or park in my parking lot ramp on weekends and nights. And so he kept saying, oh, let's just park there. And I'm like, it was hot out and I had new shoes on, and I'm like, I knew the valet parking was included at the restaurant, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So finally I got out and I asked a lady cop, explained to her where we're going, and she's like, well, at this intersection, it looks like it's closed, but there's another police officer there, and you just go up to him and tell him where you're going. So fine, well, we get to that street and we can see him down at the other end, but there's like barricades and stuff. And I said to my husband, just go through, because like we're notorious for being late, but we left early for a change, and it was getting really close to the time the event was going to start. So that guy was like, he wasn't very friendly, I didn't think. But the guy at the next corner was really friendly. And he's like, have a nice time. And we get there, and the sister and brother-in-law who are celebrating their anniversary are just arriving themselves, because they had to go like so many different ways. And it just was funny. So I was nice, and I sent out a text to the rest of my siblings who weren't there yet and said, if you want to get through, this is the intersection that they'll let you through on. So it all worked out. It was a very, very nice event, and just takes you back. My oldest niece gave like a little toast, and she asked how many people in the room were at the wedding, and it just takes you back to like your childhood. And there was, of course, all my siblings were there, but it's funny how fast that time goes. And I can remember even being at my first job after college, and there was a lady who was having a big party for her 25th wedding anniversary. And it's like, even then I thought she was kind of old. Like, oh yeah, your perception of what is old really changes. And my husband had this statistic, and I thought he said, like, of all couples married, I thought it was like maybe 8% make it to their 50th wedding anniversary, which, I mean, it is awesome, between, people getting sick and relationships not working. It's not a guarantee, that's for sure. So, so we had that, and then my cousin's youngest of 6 graduated high school, so they had a big party last Sunday, which was so fun because it's been like ages since saw all his daughters, and you know, most of them have babies now, and there were so many kids in that house. I don't remember like being at an event that had that many kids in a long time. And unfortunately, they have a beautiful yard, but the weather, it was like 60 and drizzly, so they couldn't have anything outside. So it was funny because like I was there a couple hours, and then I was like, you know, you'd see someone you hadn't talked to yet or even seen, and it's like, oh, where did you come from? And they were in another room or in the basement or whatever. And but just to see all those little ones, somebody's kid, he was like 2, and his older sister had a big double layer sheet cake, and his sister had helped herself to a piece of cake. And the little guy, also my sister and I turned, and on this little spatula, he's got like the other half a piece of cake just balanced perfectly. But he's looking around in panic like, where do I put this now? He must not have seen the plates. So we were going to help him, and just with that, he drops it all over the floor and chocolate cake everywhere. But he was so darn cute. So, but just fun, you know. You, after the last couple of years, you don't take gathering as a family and, you know, their friends for granted, because, you know, you think of what, who of us would have ever fathomed having that kind of experience where, you know, like going to the grocery store, or, you know, getting together with your, you know, parents or kids was such an ordeal. So I just, you know, really count myself and the world blessed that, you know, life has for some of us returned pretty much normal. For others, you know, it will never be the same. And it's just so sad. Like, who would have thought in our lifetime we'd go through that experience? Okay, now I'm really rambling, and I don't think I have anything else to really say, and it's almost 3:00. No wonder I'm hungry. I went on a like 4.5 mile hike in the forest with my friend this morning, and it was beautiful. It's like being up north. You know, you're grateful for all the people who had the smarts to preserve land like that, so that you can, you know, like within probably 40 minutes of a major city, be in this area that you swear is like in the North Woods. So just gorgeous. Okay, so I think that's all I have. I sure hope I covered everything I wanted to mention. I'm glad I showed the quilt to be in the beginning, and yeah, that's about it. Summer in Wisconsin, we're all like trying to pack everything in at once, and you know, it's like kind of scary that it goes so fast. But so I guess this is going to be it, and I'm already over an hour, and I thought this was going to be a quick one. So I hope you're all doing well. I appreciate all your likes, all your comments, you taking the time to view, because I'm amazed, you know, there's so many good Flosstubers out there, and I just appreciate people who take the time to watch. And again, sorry for the noise last time, and I try to do better, okay? Thumbs up! So, thank you very much for watching, and please continue to fill the world with love. We'll see you next time. Bye.